Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something quite personal. We're exploring what it genuinely means to be your own biggest supporter, your own engine for growth. Our guide for this is a really insightful piece called Simply Enough: Self-Love and Personal Growth. And our mission really is to unpack this powerful idea, maybe even a surprising one, that the most influential person in your life might actually be you. So to kick us off, the source asks this really direct question: who inspires you to be the best version of yourself? And the answer it gives is honestly pretty unexpected. It says, the person that inspires me to be the best version of myself is me. I mean, that statement just flips things right around, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. And what strikes me immediately is just the boldness of that idea. It's a real shift, moving away from always looking outside for validation, for role models, towards building this internal foundational self-reliance. We often do look outwards, right? Yeah. But this makes you stop and think, maybe the most reliable source of inspiration, if you create the right conditions, is, well, it's you. Though it does make you wonder, is there a potential downside to making yourself the only inspiration? Or is it just about acknowledging that primary role?
Yeah, that really does shift the focus inward, doesn't it? And speaking of foundations, let's bring in our word of the day from the source. It's utmost, defined as the greatest or highest in degree, number, or amount. When you put that next to the idea of inspiring yourself, it really paints this picture of becoming your utmost self. The peak of your potential, built by you, for you. Okay, so let's really dig into this. Being your own architect. The source puts it very plainly. I've known this person my entire life, and I will know him for the rest of it. The person that inspires me to be the best version of myself is me. Who else would be a better choice than myself? It really highlights that constant, lifelong relationship, doesn't it? It's the one thing that's always there.
That really is the crux of it. Yeah. If we are our constant companion, then the quality of that relationship, that internal dialogue, it becomes incredibly important. And the source points out something crucial. It acknowledges we might be biased towards ourselves, maybe even trick ourselves into being, well, the worst version sometimes. But there's a key idea here. It says, if we learn to love ourselves physically and emotionally, then we are less likely to deliberately hurt ourselves and would root for ourselves. This isn't just feel-good stuff. It's almost like a deep self-preservation instinct. When you genuinely value your own well-being, you're just mints. You're less likely to sabotage yourself, right? Whether that's putting things off or ignoring your health or, staying in bad situations. It's like setting a standard, an internal one, for how you deserve to be treated, starting with yourself.
That makes so much sense. Self-love as a kind of protective barrier. And following that thought, how do we actually, maintain this relationship with ourselves, strengthen it? The source gives us this powerful analogy. It suggests we have to treat ourselves as if we are our own best friend and would not purposefully put ourselves in a bad position. It sounds so simple, but it's actually quite profound and maybe quite challenging because, like it says, we're stuck with ourselves. Any harm we do now, even just emotionally, it kind of echoes forward.
It does sound simple, yeah. But think about the real impact of constant self-criticism or always putting your own needs last. That is a form of harm, isn't it?
Yeah.
What the source is getting at, I think, is building the strong internal support system. Almost like having a strong core protects you physically. This emotional core protects you from negativity, even your own. Psychologically, this ties into the idea of an internal locus of control. The belief that you, through your actions, shape your life more than outside forces do. Viewing yourself as your own best friend really reinforces that sense of agency, that you're in charge of your own well-being.
Okay, but if we're being our own best friend, sometimes friendship involves tough love, right? A bit of gentle honesty, calling ourselves out. And that brings us to building trust and accountability with ourselves. The source even says, this sounds silly, but insists, we have to build trust with ourselves and hold ourselves accountable. How do you actually do that? Build trust with yourself. It's not like shaking hands.
That's a really good question. And it's not about big, dramatic things. It's about the small stuff. Consistency, integrity.
Yeah.
Like when you decide you're going to do something for yourself, maybe exercise, maybe just take a proper break, learn a new skill, and then you actually do it, even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
That's like making a deposit in your internal trust account. But if you keep making promises to yourself and then breaking them, well, that trust wears thin. It really does. It's this quiet, ongoing process of managing yourself, really, treating your future self with respect. And yes, sometimes that means that honest conversation, acknowledging, okay, I need to deal with this, it's uncomfortable, but it matters for the long run because you care about that future self.
That's a great way to frame it, the internal trust account. And importantly, the source doesn't pretend this is easy or perfect. It says, we will definitely make mistakes along the way. But it doesn't just leave it there. It offers this perspective shift. If we take notes of it and have positivity for growth, then we can turn that mistake to a greater success. It admits this might sound magical and a bit tacky, but there's real wisdom under that, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. That view on mistakes is basically the heart of what psychologists call a growth mindset. It's not about avoiding mistakes or aiming for perfection. It's about seeing challenges, setbacks, everything, as well as data, as learning opportunities. A mistake isn't a label on your worth anymore. It's just information. It tells you, okay, maybe tweak the approach here or dig deeper there. Reframing it like that is what allows for real progress instead of getting bogged down and blaming yourself.
Okay, so let's try and pull this together for you, the listener. We've taken this deep dive into the idea that you can be your own main source of inspiration, your own architect, guiding yourself towards that utmost potential we talked about. We looked at how important physical and emotional self-love is, acting as this kind of safeguard, helping you genuinely root for yourself. And we talked about treating yourself like your own best friend, building that trust, that accountability through consistent, honest self-care.
And we saw how mistakes, if you approach them with that positive, growth-focused attitude, they really can become fuel for greater success. They don't have to derail you. It all points back to this unique reliability you can find within yourself, especially as the source says, under the right circumstances, meaning when you've actually cultivated that internal trust and friendship.
Right. So to bring us home, let's revisit our quote of the day. It was, "Even the smallest flame can reveal the shape of the darkness around it."
That quote ties in so well, doesn't it, with this whole theme of self-awareness, personal growth. It suggests that even those little sparks, a moment of self-compassion, following through on a small promise to yourself, acknowledging a difficult truth, they start to light things up. They show you the challenges, maybe things you've been avoiding, but also, crucially, they reveal the potential that was maybe hidden in that darkness, that unexamined part of yourselves.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If even the smallest flame can reveal the shape of the darkness around it, and if you yourself are that flame, what insights about your own untapped potential, or maybe unacknowledged challenges, might you be ready to illuminate next? Simply by choosing, really choosing, to be your own utmost ally.